Buckle up because recruiting season is heating up, and the draft buzz is officially reaching a boiling point. We start in South Bend, where Notre Dame is cutting right to the chase with 2027 tight end Landon Wolny. After a high-stakes visit on April 11, the Irish coaching staff finally laid their cards on the table regarding exactly where Wolny sits on their recruiting board, and the transparency is shaking up his entire decision-making process.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLume 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Meanwhile, the landscape in Westwood is shifting as Bob Chesney puts the college football world on notice. UCLA has officially pulled off a massive heist by flipping four-star safety Khalil Terry away from Notre Dame, marking a statement win that proves the Bruins can go toe-to-toe with the biggest brands in the sport. Terry brings elite ball-hawking skills to the secondary and is a cornerstone piece for a recruiting class that is rapidly climbing into the national top 25. The intensity is only ramping up for the Fighting Irish staff as they navigate a critical stretch on the trail. Notre Dame is currently in full-blown crunch time with their top prospects, and the latest edition of Lucky Charms is dropping exclusive insider notes that you absolutely need to see. If you want to know which elite recruits are nearing a final decision, this is the update that connects all the dots. Finally, all eyes are locked on draft night, where the hype surrounding Notre Dame running back Jeremiyah Love has reached a fever pitch. Reports are swirling that the Arizona Cardinals are dead set on grabbing Love at the number 3 overall pick, despite a firestorm of debate from analysts across the league. Will he make history as a top 3 selection? We will find out tonight, so smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a breaking update. Ever wonder what really happens behind the closed doors of elite college football recruiting? Sometimes, it's not about the hype or the flashy social media graphics. It's about cold, hard clarity. That's exactly what 2027 tight end Landon Wolny discovered during his recent trip to South Bend. On April 11, the rising star stepped onto the Notre Dame campus, but instead of the usual sales pitch, he got something far more valuable: a roadmap. Wolny opened up to the team at blue and gold, revealing that the coaching staff didn't just roll out the red carpet. They sat him down and laid out exactly where he stands on their recruiting board. Think about that for a second. In an era where coaches often keep prospects dangling on a string, Notre Dame's transparency is a breath of fresh air. It shows they aren't just chasing talent. They're building a relationship based on respect and clear expectations. By defining his spot on their list early, the Irish have effectively set the stage for how this recruitment is going to play out. So, what do you think? Is this direct approach the smartest way to win over the next generation of recruits, or does it take some of the mystery out of the process? Let me know your take in the comments below. If you want to stay ahead of the game on all things Notre Dame football, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Because in the high-stakes world of recruiting, knowing the truth is the ultimate advantage. Is UCLA becoming the new destination for elite defensive talent? If you look at the recent recruiting trail, the answer is a resounding yes. Head coach Bob Chesney is wasting absolutely no time defining this new era of Bruins football, and he just pulled off a move that is turning heads across the country. Khalil Terry, the 4-star safety and one of the top defensive prospects in the nation, has officially flipped to UCLA. Now, this isn't just another commitment. This is a massive statement of intent. Terry, a Tustin native, was previously pledged to Notre Dame, but Chesney managed to swoop in and convince him that the future belongs in Westwood. And it's not like the Bruins were hurting for competition. Terry had over 30 offers on the table, including heavy hitters like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and the crosstown rivals, USC. When you start beating out the blue bloods for local talent, you know you're building something real. But let's look at why this guy is such a prize. At 5'11" and 185 pounds, the kid is an absolute ball hawk. We're talking 179 tackles and 9 interceptions in high school. That is elite-level production that suggests he's going to be a multi-year starter the moment he steps on campus. His ability to track the ball at the catch point is exactly what Big Ten defenses crave, and scouts are already whispering about his NFL potential. This commitment is the fourth four-star recruit for the 2027 class, vaulting UCLA into the top 25 nationally. It's clear that Chesney has a laser-focused strategy. Lock down the local talent and prove that UCLA can go toe-to-toe with the biggest brands in the sport. The Bruins aren't just participating in the recruiting game anymore, they are winning it. If this momentum keeps building, we might be looking at a total transformation of the program's trajectory. Do you think Chesney has what it takes to turn these stars into a championship-caliber secondary? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Hit that like button if you're excited for the future of Bruin football, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next update on this shifting landscape. Sometimes, all it takes is one flip to change the entire culture of a team. Ever wonder what really happens behind the scenes when college football powerhouses chase their next generation of stars? Welcome to today's edition of Lucky Charms, where we pull back the curtain on Notre Dame's high-stakes recruiting battleground. It is officially crunch time in South Bend, and the tension is palpable as several elite targets approach their final decisions. Think of this as your front row seat to the chess match that defines a program's future. From Monday to Thursday, we are tracking every shift in momentum, every whispered rumor, and the critical movements of prospects who could turn the tide for the Fighting Irish. Recruiting is never just about talent. It is about timing, relationships, and that razor-thin margin between a commitment and a total pivot. We are looking at key players who have Notre Dame right at the top of their list, and the coaching staff is pulling out all the stops to seal the deal. It is a fascinating look at the relentless pace of modern recruiting, where one phone call can shift the landscape of an entire class. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and know exactly who is leaning toward the gold and blue before the news breaks, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The Irish are hunting for greatness, and in this game, every single detail matters. Who are you hoping joins the ranks in South Bend? Drop a comment below, and let's keep the conversation going. Draft night is finally here, and the speculation has reached a fever pitch. But forget everything you thought you knew about the order, because one name is dominating the conversation like a wildfire: Notre Dame superstar Jeremiyah Love. If you believe the latest wave of mock drafts, the Arizona Cardinals front office has essentially locked in their decision, with Love's name underlined in permanent marker at the top of their big board. When ESPN's Mel Kiper first floated the idea of Love going third overall, it sparked a genuine firestorm. Critics immediately sounded the alarm, arguing that taking a running back that high in the modern NFL is a strategic blunder, a relic of a bygone era with dwindling return on investment. Some analysts even went as far as penning desperate pleas for Arizona to look elsewhere, not because they doubted Love's talent, but because they feared a move driven by headlines rather than long-term roster building. Yet, despite the noise and the fierce pushback, the momentum hasn't shifted an inch. In fact, in the final 24 hours before the clock starts, the consensus has only hardened. At this stage, it feels like the only thing that could stop Jeremiyah Love from wearing an Arizona jersey at pick number 3 is a blockbuster trade that sends that pick to someone else entirely. Even The Athletic is leaning into the narrative, acknowledging the risk, but pointing to the raw, game-changing potential that Love brings to the table. They argue that while the Cardinals have holes to fill, they also have the rare opportunity to secure a true franchise weapon who could outproduce any other prospect on the board. If this actually goes down, we're looking at history in the making. Love would join the elite company of Saquon Barkley as one of the only running backs to crack the top 3 in the last decade. It's a massive gamble, a high-stakes play, and an absolute lightning rod for debate. So, what do you think? Is taking a running back at 3 a genius move or a desperate mistake? Hit that subscribe button, let me know your take in the comments, and keep your eyes locked on the stage. Because if this happens, the landscape of the NFL is about to change forever.